production, The Curse of an Aching Heart, or Trapped in a Spider's Web. With a title like that, we have 2 intermissions, so the waiters and waitresses can get to you and serve you. You'll also notice on your table there's little signs. Sometimes people really get inspired during these melodramas, and they say, I could do that, or that really looks like fun. When that moment hits you, get your pen out and fill in that card for us. There's a spot for trying out, there's a spot for helping, and there's a spot for attending. We will put you on our list, and we would love to have you join us. We can always use more help. Speaking of help, you'll probably notice from your program that we have almost 100 people involved in putting this production on. 100 people are in the program, and behind that there's probably 400 of you very special people who are spouses and families of the people that have worked so hard to put this production together. We would like to extend a very special thank you for sharing your husbands, wives, moms, and dads with us. We really appreciate it. In case of fire, there are 2 fire exits in the back and 1 to your right. There are bathroom facilities downstairs, which we would prefer you to use because of the traffic problem back here with waiters and waitresses, but there are restrooms back here also. I'd like to put in a little plug for the St. Patrick's Day party, which is the 22nd, a week from Saturday. Tickets are on sale after every Mass. If you don't go to this church, just ask somebody who does. We will gladly pick them up for you. Check. There's no smoking during the show. Our sign girl, Denise, would like you to follow along her invisible bouncing ball and read her acts. Read the different acts and read what it says on her cards. Let's see. How many people have been to a melodrama before? Could you raise? Thank you, Fran. Could you raise your hand? Okay. Maybe we're going to do just a little lesson then. We have a hero, our strong, manly hero. And when he makes his entrance or says something that you really agree with, we like to give him a great big yay! So let's try that. 1, 2, 3, yay! Good, very good. Then we have our heroine, fair and sweet, who oftentimes says things that will just get to your heart. And when she does, we normally say, ah. 1, 2, 3. Ah. I think we're going to go down there and you're going to go there. And last but not least is the dastardly villain. I don't even have to tell you what you say. 1, 2, 3. Good, you're ready. In the spirit of Monsignor Schnecke, we're proud to present The Curse of an Aching Heart. Thank you for coming.
Again? You wake up, I said, wake up, you...
I was having a nightmare. It was only you. Sorry.
The matter?
What's the matter, man? What's up?
Not you, sir, that's for sure. The very idea of you sleeping in the middle of the day like that. I am ashamed to say you are my husband.
Terry, I'm just taking a little time out to do some thinking, that's all. Golly sakes, nothing get all bent out of shape.
Is that the only time you can do any thinking is when you're sleeping?
Oh, now, Ma, what are you trying to do? Put the bite on the hand that feeds you?
I am the only one that does any feeding around here. I have paid for everything on this ranch except that roof.
That's because that's on the house, Ma.
Oh, Hiram, my mother told me. not to marry you. She told me I would have been marrying beneath me.
Why, woman, how many times have I told you I come from a real good, fine family, I does. Well, you might say I was born to the purple, I was.
Ever since I have known you, sir, you have been operating and sleeping in the red.
Oh, now, my doggone it, you never knew my pappy. When he used to come home from working at the still, he'd say, Hiram, you just keep on punching, son. Never give up. Punch away, and just keep knocking them dead. That's all you gotta do.
He was hoping you would punch yourself out, Hiram.
Oh, now, Ma.
You must stop this sleeping in the day.
It's nothing more than a little childish habit that I can't seem to break myself of, that's all.
I might have known what to expect from you. You slept at the church on our wedding day.
God, I'm sorry, you gotta keep reminding me about that. I've been trying to forget that day all these years.
What?
Well, remember, I was so full of gas, I had 2 teeth full. Remember, way back there, huh?
You slept through the entire ceremony.
I know, and I had to pay the dang preacher just the same. I was only there half the day.
I had to go through heaven only knows what to keep my father from giving you a piece of his mind when that ceremony was over.
That'd be about the only thing that old skinflint ever gave away. He was tired of the bark on a tree.
Did you say something, Harold?
Oh, no, Ma, I must have just been talking in my sleep, so.
It's the only time you make any sense, sir.
Well, I reckon I better get down to the train station.
What are you going to the train station for today?
Ma, don't tell me you forgot. Today's the day Aurelia's coming home from the city, and I gotta drive down there and meet her train.
What?
Read my lips, Ma, don't you understand? I gotta go down to the station and get our daughter. Today's the day she's coming home, Ed.
Hiram Abernathy, you absolutely and without a doubt flabbergast me.
Oh, no, Ma, you flabbergast me because you're flabbergasted.
The very idea you going down the station to meet Aurelia, indeed, you are a day ahead of yourself, sir.
I am?
You are. Our Aurelia is not due here until tomorrow.
Are you sure about that, Ma?
I certainly am, and do not argue with me.
Well, I thought today was the day she's coming home. How could I be wrong about that?
Have you ever had anything right since the day I met you? No.
You got that right, Ma.
I know it.
Yeah, but up until the day I met you, I used to have everything right.
Now listen to me.
Ma, doggone it, I was only fooling you. Why? I wouldn't trade you in for anybody, Ma. Even if I could.
Hiram, do you really mean that?
Why, sure, Ma. Well, we got our daughter here, and we've got a pretty good life, and we got a ranch. Look how
We
nice
got a
it is.
mortgage on this ranch as big as the ranch itself, sir.
And we got the Sears and Roebuck catalog and our health, and we got our kids, too, Ma.
We have our daughter, Aurelia, yes. But as for our boy...
Oh, now, Ma, stop crying.
Oh, son.
I'm sorry I even mentioned him. I know how upset you get every time you think of him.
But Hiram, how could any son of ours just go up and leave home and forget about us?
Oh, now, Ma, don't talk that way. I know he ain't forgot. Really.
If only we had some news of him.
I know we're going to hear from him one of these days.
But if we only knew he was alive.
Well, I know he's alive, and he's going to get in touch with us, really.
Hiram, our boy has been gone from us for 30 years.
Well, Ma, I realize that, but, you know, he never was much of a letter writer, you know. None of us ever had his word.
30 years?
Yeah, I know that, Ma, but he's going to come back. I know he will.
I don't know, Hiram, but I know that every night I light that lamp and I place it here in the window. And I pray that God will send my son home safely to me.
Oh, well, Ma, I want him to come home, too. I mean, I can't take care of this place anymore. Why, it's too much work for me in my old age.
Work? You, in all the years I have known you, you have never done any work on this ranch.
Why, Sir Abernathy, don't you remember when I worked in the factory? Heck, I had to be there about at least a year and a half.
You?
Yeah.
In a factory?
Uh-huh.
For a year and a half?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you tell me what you did in that factory, sir?
Well, I was a first-class olive stuffer, I was.
An olive stuffer?
Yes, ma'am. I used to wait for those little red pimentos to come down off the line, and I'd take a hold of one of them, and I'd ram it right in that old green olive, and I'd stuff it in my mouth.
I should have known never to take you seriously, Hiram Abernathy.
Now, who do you suppose is coming here?
Hi, folks!
It's Brother Annie!
Hey, I got news for y'all!
What kind of news you got there, Annie?
Well, you see, I was just...
All right, wait a minute. Did you bring somebody else along with you?
Oh, no, that's my horse you hear sure I forget to tell him to stop. Whoa there, Ebenezer! Rest yourself!
Hey, you got that critter trained pretty good there, Badlands.
Yeah, that horse is smarter than a lot of humans I know. Beats everything how he catches on to things.
Yeah, well, come on in here, pull up your arteries and set a spell.
Hey, don't mind if I do, Hiram.
Yeah, we-
Annie, tell me, what news you got for us?
Oh, ain't you here? Trouble's come to the valley. We're all in for it this time.
What kind of trouble, Sheriff?
One of them bandits is on the loose. There's been 3 holdups since last evening.
3 holdups? How terrible!
Yep, the confounded bandit held up the train just before it got to the pike near Four Corners. Went through the whole train, too.
Well, how'd you happen to hear about that, Sheriff?
Well, it's my business to know about such things, Hiram. I'm the sheriff of this here county, ain't I?
Yeah, reckon you be, Annie. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll say I be, and let me tell you something, Hiram. I'll meet up with that bandit, and when I do, he'll know it all right.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll know it, but will you, Annie?
Annie, you said the bandit went through the entire train?
Yep, took everybody's money and valuables, too. Must have got a powerful big home.
Red Wing, did you finish your work in the barn?
Hi, Red Wing!
Redwing, you didn't see any strangers hanging around up by the barn, did you?
No see anybody, but Red Wing know. Heap bad trouble coming to ranch.
Red Wing, what do you mean we're going to have trouble here on the ranch?
Red Wing sees signs of great danger in sky. Much that is bad will happen here.
Now, doggone it, Redwing, I don't like it when you talk like that. Ma, don't you pay no attention to her. Nothing bad gonna happen in this place long as I'm here.
Red Wing say no more. Red Wing have spoken.
Redwing, you know how short we are hired hands on. If you got some work to do, just get outside and do it, would you?
Oh,
Dang, I've seen that Indian someplace. Maybe on a pound of butter or something, I don't know.
I do wish she hadn't said we were going to have trouble. It is uncanny the way that woman reads the sky. She's usually right in her predictions.
Ah, fail, I ain't gonna pay no attention to her. Don't you either. Now who you suppose is coming?
Oh, take nobody, Hiram, sit down. It's just Ebenezer. He's like you. He's stretching his legs. He loves to show off whenever there's a party gal around.
Get away, Ebenezer.
And getting back to this bandit and not Hiram. Now tell me, have you known what he looks like?
Oh, no, tain't got the slightest idea what he looks like.
Ain't anybody ever got close enough to see him, Annie?
Oh, sure, plenty of folks have seen him, but they can't tell what he looks like, because he always wears one of those heavy black masks over his face.
Well, if you don't know what he looks like, how you going to catch him?
By laying a trap for him, of course. Don't you worry, I'll get that varmint, and when I do, I'll put him where he'll never be able to rob anybody again.
And where was he last seen?
Oh, about 6 miles down the road and headed this way. But I'll shoot him down before he can say Jack Robinson.
Hey, Annie, now just put that gun away before you do somebody some damage. Now, stick the thing away.
What's the matter, Hiram? You ain't scared I'll shoot you, are you?
No, doggone it. Just put the thing away. I don't want to die just yet, that's all.
Oh, shucks, I'm beginning to think you're nothing but a big sissy, Hiram Abernathy.
Why?
You gotta go sometime.
Obvious. It ain't me I'm thinking about, Annie. It's what's Ma here? I mean, what would she ever do around this place without me? She wouldn't be able to manage, would you, Ma?
Oh, fiddlesticks! I couldn't be better off without you than I am with you. I certainly couldn't be worse off than I am now.
Oh, well, reckon I'll just be running along and let you two fight in peace. But remember now what I told you, Sarah. Don't let no strangers in here. And if you see anybody suspicious like hanging around, you get in touch with me right away, yeah?
Annie, aren't you just a little bit afraid that the bandit's gonna get you before you could get him?
The man ain't been born that I'll be scared of. It's my own self I'm feared of.
Your own self.
Yeah.
Explain that, won't you, please?
Well, you see, Sari, I ain't never had a chance to try out my own strength. When I do, it's likely to be such a big surprise to me, the shock's have to kill me. I'll see you later.
Bye, bye.
Ain't she a piece of work, Ma?
Listen to that horse. It must have taken off before Annie could mount him.
Oh, no, Ma. From what I hear about Annie, she's one of the fastest girls in town.
Listen to that storm blowing up. I better go into the kitchen and make sure everything is okay.
Yeah, I'll go help you, Ma. Wait a minute.
changeable as a woman's mood and just as unreliable. Where is everybody, I wonder?
I ain't gonna be taking no nap. Maybe just about fine. Are you looking for somebody, mister?
Well, my old friend, so we meet again after all these years.
Well, the face looks familiar, but I don't know.
Come, man, don't tell me you don't recognize me.
Well, it's Windermere Hightower.
Windermere Hightower it is, and entirely at your service.
Windermere Hightower. I'll be a monkey's pigeon-toed uncle.
It's a charming place you have here, Abernathy.
What are you doing around this part of the country, you low-down snake in the grass?
Why, I knew you'd be delighted to see me, of course, but I didn't expect such an elaborate display of hospitality.
Why, you polecat, what are you doing here?
Well, I heard that a man named Abernathy owned this ranch, so I decided to pay a little visit and determined for myself that the man in question was my old friend.
Why, a rattlesnake like you wouldn't have any friends now. Just get out of my house.
Come now, Hiram. How you've changed since we were in prison together.
Wait a minute, don't you mention anything back around here. No one knows about that.
You mean to tell me that your neighbors don't know that you are a jailbreaker?
You be still, doggone you.
I'll be still, but no more of this name calling. Now sit down.
Why don't you just tell me what you're doing around here? That's all I want to know.
What does that matter? Suffice it to say that you have the honor of entertaining the famous Windermere Hightower. And let it go at that.
I'll say you're famous. There ain't a crime in the calendar you haven't had your mitts in. Anybody that ever had anything to do with you knows you're the world's worst villain.
Any more talk like that, Hiram Abernathy and everyone around here will know that you are a criminal who has not yet paid his full debt to society.
That's a doggone lie. I never did a criminal act in my life. I was framed and sent to jail by some lowlife like you that gave false testimony against me. I'm innocent, and you know it.
Oh, yeah? Do you think that you could ever convince a judge of your innocence, my fine friend?
Well, why don't you get out of here and leave me in peace? I don't want you bringing shame and disgrace on my poor wife.
Egad, I must convince this old crumb that I mean him no harm, or all is lost. Why, Hiram, why do you think that I mean to blacken your name in this community, or bring harm to you and yours? Why, let me assure you that nothing could be further from my mind.
You mean that? You mean that? You ain't gonna mention nothing about my past?
Well, of course I mean that. You have nothing to fear from me. I only hope that I have the opportunity to prove to you that I would go out of my way to do you a service. But first, I'll do myself a service by getting control of this ranch and ridding it of this old fool and his family.
Well, if you mean what you say, you'll clear out of here before my wife sees you.
Oh, that I can oblige you. But owing to circumstances, I find it necessary to remain here a few days.
Just as I thought you didn't mean a dang thing you said about blabbing about my past.
Well, of course, I meant every word of it. Now set your fears at rest and treat me as you would any other guest.
How long you figure you're going to have to stay around here?
Well, not more than a few days. You see, I have some business in the area that requires my presence here. Little does he know that my business is to take him for everything he has, the old nitwit.
What'll I tell my wife? She's going to want to know why you're hanging around here like that.
Well, I suggest you let me handle your wife. I'm certain that I can satisfy any curiosity she might have about my reasons for being here.
Sari don't know nothing about my past. If she ever found out, it'd break her heart.
And all the more reason for you to keep the knowledge of your past from her.
Oh, I don't know what I want to do.
Cheer up, Hiram. Everything will go smoothly for you if you'll only do as I tell you to. Just act naturally and give your wife the impression that you're delighted to have me under your roof.
It's going to be mighty hard for me to pretend I'm happy to have you hanging around here, but I guess I just got to do it for Sari's sake.
Eureka! I won the first round. Hiram Abernathy has fallen into the trap that I set for him. Tell me, Abernathy, I've never had the pleasure of meeting your wife. What is she like?
Well, Sari ain't at all like me. She's real educated. It comes from a fine family, too. You see, I married a mending girl.
Why, I understand perfectly. In other words, you married above yourself.
Hiram, have you been... Oh, my. my goodness, I did not know we had company.
Ma, I want you to meet Windermere Hightower. This is my ma, Sarah Abernathy. She just stopped in here by accident, Ma.
Why, Mrs. Abernathy, I can well understand what Hiram meant when he was telling me about you just now. Why, you look more like a younger sister of Hiram's. I never believed that you were his ma.
Why, Hiram Abernathy, whatever have you been saying about me to,
Hightower. The name is Windermere Hightower. My forebear settled New England. My father was one of the Boston Hightowers.
Why, Mr. Hightower, it is a pleasure to meet you. Are there many Hightowers in Boston?
Oh no, there's just a few of us left.
It is a pleasure to meet a gentleman for a change. Hiram, why didn't you tell me you had such a nice friend?
Well, you see, Hiram has forgotten all about me, dear lady. Why, we've not seen each other in a great many years.
I see. That means that you and Hiram are old friends. Well, then you must plan on paying us a long visit.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Because of business commitments, I can only pay you a short visit.
That's right. Hightower's got to get going.
But now that I've met you, dear Mrs. Abernathy, I'll try to arrange my affairs so that I can linger here for a week or so.
Oh, no! Oh, gone! Wow.
Hiram,
Wow.
what ails you?
Oh, I got a headache, man. It's a beaut, believe me.
Yeah, Suits. He'll have more than a headache when he finds out the real purpose of my appearance here. No doubt you're curious as to the nature of my business in these parts, dear lady.
Well, I am sure that it must be something mighty big.
Oh, no. You see, I'm just doing a little prospecting that involves a trifling sum of, $1 million.
$1 million, Hiram! Did you hear that? He can make some money for you. He'll let you in on the deal.
Oh, man, don't even mention such thing. Don't pay no attention to him, man. Stay away.
That is just like Hiram. He does not like to impose on his friends.
Well, dear lady, I would not consider it an imposition to invest a friend's money.
Does that mean you can do something for my husband?
Oh, yes. I'm sure that I can do plenty for Hiram.
Hiram and I will never forget you.
Oh, I'm sure that you won't. I'll see to that. Now, old man, if you don't mind, I'm feeling a little tired and need some rest. Would you show me my room?
Hiram, do take Mr. Hightower upstairs. Now, you do know what room to put him in.
I know where I'd like to put him, believe me. I know where to put him.
Well, since I will be seeing you again shortly, dear lady, I won't say farewell, but au revoir. I assure you that your generosity is exceeded only by your good looks and charming disposition.
Come on along with me, Hightower. I'm going to turn your bed down for you.
And French, too.
Storm all gone. Pale-faced man coming here.
A man? Who is it, Redwing?
Him stranger. Redwing never see him before.
My goodness, I do hope it's not the masked bandit.
Oh, excuse me, ma'am. I'd like to work with
Sit
you.
right there. Don't you come any closer.
Why? What's the matter?
Are you the masked bandit?
Masked bandit? What do you mean, ma'am?
There have been a lot of holdups going on around here, and the sheriff is searching for the criminal that's been robbing folks.
Oh, shucks, ma'am. Can't you tell I ain't a robber? I don't even have a gun. Go ahead and
Wait,
search me.
no. Redwing, will you search him, please?
Hey, stop her, Dickles.
Does he have a gun on him, Redwing?
Look, ma'am, I've come a long distance. I'm afraid I've lost my way. I haven't had anything to eat since last night.
Oh, you poor boy. Where are you from?
Well, I'm from Maryland.
From Maryland, don't tell me.
That's where I'm from, all right. And my name is Lucius Goodenough.
Did you hear that, Redwing? He is from Maryland. That's Redwing. She has been with us for a while.
Oh, pleased to know you. How are you? What's the matter with her? Does she have a stomachache?
Oh, no, that's the way Indians talk.
Oh, I see. Why don't you sit down?
No, Indians do not like to sit down. They much prefer to stand.
Oh, that's funny. Why, where I come from, the only Indian we ever heard of was called Sitting Bull.
Okay, Redwing, there is some fresh mulligan stew out in the kitchen. Will you please serve it up and see that there's plenty down. Tell me what you've been doing.
Thank you, ma'am. You understand, though, I ain't asking for a handout. I'll pay for what I eat.
Oh, you don't have to worry about a thing like that. Hiram and I don't have much, but we can't stand to see anybody go hungry.
Well, you're home folks just like my own mom. She always goes out of her way to feed people.
Now tell me, where are you going?
Well, I started out for California, but I don't know if my money will hold out long enough for me to get there.
Do you think that you might consider staying here at the ranch with us?
How's that, ma'am?
We are terribly short-handed, and because of it, we have lost several of our cattle. You would get your room and board and keep and a salary.
But I don't know a blasted thing about ranch work, ma'am.
Well, that really doesn't matter. When Hiram first came out here, he didn't know anything either. If he can learn, well, then anybody can.
I don't think I'd like it on a ranch, ma'am. Anyway, I'm pretty anxious to get to California. I've got relatives out there.
Well, why don't you think about it while you're out in the kitchen filling yourself? You go see Redwing, and she will feed you.
All right, well, thank you, ma'am. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather feed myself. I've been doing that since I was a baby.
I don't think Redwing would feed you the way you expect either. Hiram, did you get Mr. Hightower settled comfortably?
Yeah, he's all taken care of, Ma. Don't worry about that guy. Boy.
I must say, Hiram, that Windermere Hightower is a real aristocrat. He definitely has taken ways.
I'll say it's got takeaways. Is there anything upstairs he can take, is there?
What?
Well, I mean, how about that silver your ma gave him before she passed away? And the mortgage money, you got that hidden in a good, safe place, Harry?
Hiram, the mortgage money, the deed, everything are right here in the cupboard where it's safe. It's always I keep my valuables. What you thinking about a thing like that for?
Well, I just didn't know whether something could
I
happen.
know you must be thinking about that mass bandit paying us a visit.
No, it ain't the mass bandit I'm thinking about. It's that... Yeah, Ma, you're right. It's a mass bandit. Why, I wouldn't want him come breaking in there and making off with our mortgage money.
Hiram, how could you say such a thing? If he took that mortgage money, we would be sunk for sure.
I know, Ma. Let's not even think such thing. We'll just put it right out of our minds, okay?
Okay. Now, Hiram, isn't it wonderful that Mr. Hightower came when he did? Now he can get to meet and to know our Aurelia.
Holy shoot! I never thought of that. Well, there's reckon nothing we can do about that now, is there?
But Hiram, wouldn't it be wonderful if Mr. Hightower and our Aurelia kind of fell in love?
Oh, good grief, Ma, I don't even want to think of something like that. Heaven's sake.
Hiram Abernathy, what is wrong with you, sir?
Dang headache, Ma. Keeps coming back every time you mention Hightower or something.
Hiram, you know what you need for that headache?
What?
A large dose of castor oil.
Castor oil? Why, whoever has seen a guy take castor oil for a pain in the head, Sarah?
Nobody listen, they had a head like yours.
Oh, my God. Now who do you suppose is coming now?
I don't know. It's Aurelia! Oh, my daughter!
Oh, read out me a monkey's bitch told uncle. Welcome home, honey. It's good to see you.
Hiram, doesn't she look wonderful?
Yeah, I'll say she does. So glad you're home.
I'm delighted to see you too, Father.
Father? Why, you never called me nothing but Pa.
Girls in the city never call their pa's anything but Father. Father.
Well, that's nice, Aurelia, but what are you doing home today? We were expecting you until tomorrow.
Well, I wrote and told you I was coming home today, Father.
Hiram Abernathy did not tell you to go to the station and pick her up!
Doggone it, Ma, you said she wasn't coming. I was going to go down there today to...
It doesn't matter what either of you said. I am here, though for a while it looked as though I'd never make it.
Well, what happened to you?
The train I was on was held up by a masked bandit.
Why, that ornery coyote rob you?
Everyone on the train. There was a girl sharing a seat with me, and he took over $100 from her and left her penniless.
That poor child.
When I discovered that she was penniless and all alone in the world, I decided to bring her home with me. I hope you don't mind, darling.
No.
Of course not. I don't mind at all. I am so glad you extended the hand of charity to a poor, unfortunate girl.
Yeah.
Where is she?
She's waiting outside. I'll go get her.
Oh, ain't it nice?
Yoo-hoo! Melody, come on in.
Oh, what a gorgeous abode. How I've longed for a place like this to come to. A place I could call home. But I'm afraid it was never meant to be thus for one of my lowly origin. Oh, woe is me, lack-a-day.
Melody, I'd like you to meet my mother and father. Folks, this is the girl I was just telling you about. Her name is Melody Lane.
Melody Lane, what a lovely name. And it is so easy to see, isn't it, Hiram?
Yeah, easy to say and easy to look at.
Hiram!
No offense, man, no offense. Damn.
How can I ever thank you for this warm display of hospitality? Why, I come among you a stranger, and you just take me into your hearts as if I am one of you. But it makes me feel so unworthy. I, who am but a piece of flotsam on life's jetsam.
Why, you poor child, that ordeal with the bandit must have been a terrible thing for you to go through. Tell me, is this your first time traveling away from home?
Oh, alas, I've never known the joys of a home. I was raised in an orphanage without any kith or kin of my own. But unlike your dear Aurelia, I've never known the joy of a mother's love and affection.
Does that mean you do not know who your mother is or your father?
No, I've never had a mother or a father.
Well, I'll be a monkey's pigeon-toed uncle. She was raised just like Topsy.
Oh, Hiram, hush.
Aren't you glad I brought Melody home with me?
Yeah, why don't you ask me sometime when your ma ain't home?
Oh, Hiram! Now tell me, are you traveling for pleasure or are you going somewhere particular?
Well, I was headed to a small city in the West where I expected to teach school.
Melody taught school in the East up until a few months ago when her school was closed.
Well, it sounds to me like she's a school teacher what lost her class.
How lighthearted and gay they all are. Would they be so happy to welcome me among them if they knew the dark secret that beclouds my life? Alas, no, they would all shun me if they were to know that deep within my being I carry the curse of an aching heart.
Melody's going to be staying in my room. I'll go up and see that things are in order.
Well, really, I painted your room while you were away, honey. Your favorite color's brown and black.
Thanks, Father.
Kind of goes with your personality, sweetie.
We have another gentleman staying here, a very wealthy man from the East. I'm kind of hoping that him and Aurelia will take to each other.
How like 'em. How like a mother hen that is. Yearning after her chicks. Aurelia's a wonderful girl. She deserves the very best.
Well, Melody, I certainly do hope you're going to be happy staying here with us.
Oh, how could anyone help but be happy here amidst such peaceful surroundings? And how I love the outdoors. Here I shall have a chance to commune with nature. I think I'll pick some flowers for supper.
Well, that was mighty fine, Redwing.
Flowers for supper is not what I serve my guests. Mr. Goodenough, I almost forgot about you. Did you have enough to eat outside?
Oh, sure, it was mighty swell. Now, how much do I owe you?
You don't know what's a thing. Tell me, did you have a chance to think about that suggestion I made earlier?
Yeah, I thought about it, but I decided against staying on here. I'll have to be on my way, ma'am.
We certainly could use a young man like you here on the ranch.
Well, maybe I'll come back and visit sometime, but right now, I gotta be headed for California.
Well, I wish you the best of luck. God bless you.
Who's this, ma'am?
Why, this is Melody Lane. She's paying us a visit. Melody, this is Lucius Goodenough. Lucius, this is Melody Lane.
I'm pleased to meet you, sir.
Oh, you ain't half as pleased as I am. Wow, she sure is a pip, ain't she?
Lucius is just leaving us. He is on his way to California.
Oh, no, not no more, I ain't. California's gonna have to get along without me.
Oh, does that mean you're going to stay here and help on the ranch?
You just bet I am. Why, you couldn't even chase me away.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Come on up here, will you? I really need you.
Won't you two please excuse me? Why, thank you. Come in.
How handsome he is. How noble. Cease, my fluttering heart.
Is this your first trip out west, Miss Lane?
Why, yes, it is. It's beautiful, isn't it? Why, look at that lovely tree out there.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what kind of tree it is.
Why, that's a dogwood.
How can you tell that's a dogwood tree?
By its bark.
Gosh, you sure are mighty smart. I hope we're going to be seeing a lot of each other from now on.
Oh, no, what you ask is quite impossible.
Impossible, but why? Does that mean you don't like me?
Why, no, not at all. Why, I hardly know you.
But I don't know you any more than you know me, and I've fallen for you hook, line, and sinker.
Stop, Lucius. You mustn't say such things to me. I've no right to listen. How tragic that I cannot meet this man on his own plane. But I must not. I dare not.
Oh, I wish I could say the things to you I really want to, but I just can't seem to find the right words. You see, I never had much education.
But didn't you go to school when you were a lad?
No.
But you must have a family, haven't you?
Oh, sure, I have a family. I've got a wonderful dad. Well, ever since I was a tiny lad, I remember he always used to say, everything that happens, happens for the best. They took him away last year.
And what about your dear mother?
Oh, my mom's a real wonder. Well, she's an oomph girl, you know.
Your mother's an oomph girl?
Yes, every time she sits on the sofa, it goes oomph.
I'll bet you've met a lot of city girls in your life, though, haven't you?
Yeah, I've met a lot of them, but I don't like them.
You don't like their looks?
Well, I don't like the looks that they give me.
How frank and outspoken he is. How stalwart. Why does my heart race so? Is it trying to tell me not to fall in love with this handsome stranger? But I'm afraid it's too late to turn back now.
Now that I've told you all about myself, what about you?
Oh, I'm afraid there isn't anything I can tell you.
Oh, what about your family? What are your parents like?
Oh, I haven't any parents. I'm all alone in the world.
You mean you've no mom or pop?
No, I haven't any father and no mother to guide me.
Wow, the guy that marries her will sure be getting a lucky break. Just think. No father-in-law to feed and no mother-in-law to beat him up. You're not alone in the world any longer, Miss Lane. You'll always have me to protect you.
Oh, no, Lucius, you mustn't say such things to me.
Oh, dang, I forgot I gotta take care of my horse outside. Won't you come along?
Oh, not right now. I'm beginning to feel the need of some rest.
Well, don't go away now.
There isn't any place for me to go.
When I first met you, I began to think about getting married. But I guess before I get married, I'll have to make a little money first.
No, on the contrary. You'll have to make a little money last.
Oh, that's a good one. Gosh, you sure are mighty smart.
I'm going for a walk, but I won't be gone long.
That voice, it sounds familiar. Could it be? Oh, no. Fate couldn't be so cruel.
Melody!
Windermere Hightower!
Aha, my proud beauty. So we meet again at last.
You fiend! What are you doing here among decent people?
Egad, Melody, did you think you could escape me? Didn't I warn you that I would find you if I had to search the length and breadth of the land? Once again, I have you in my power.
Never again. I shall have no further truck with you. Let me pass.
Is this any way for a fond wife to treat her husband?
You are not my husband.
Oh, but according to the law of the land I am, and you are my wife.
A wife in name only. Why, I would rather spend my life with a snake than to endure the society of one as foul as you, Windermere Hightower.
When the judge pronounced us man and wife,
I did not know I was being wed to a fiend. Why, it was only when you insisted that I partake in your criminal schemes that I realized my folly and left you a few minutes after the judge pronounced us man and wife.
Egad, Melody, I can't understand this strange attitude you've taken towards one who loves you so. Why, I had planned on dedicating my entire life towards making you happy.
You cur! You can no longer fool me with your words of love. I see you for what you really are. A base and unscrupulous creature who would stop at nothing to gain his own selfish ends.
Listen to me, Melody. Why not cast your lot with me once again and become rich?
Become rich? How?
By predicting the future by the past.
Predict the future by the past? How do you do that?
Why, you find some rich man with a past, you hang something on him, and you're all set for the future.
The very same proposition you offered me as we were leaving the judge's office on the day we were wed. Why, I'd sooner die 1,000 deaths than to live on the proceeds of your criminal acts.
Egad, Melody, how beautiful you are. Why, you're lovely enough to make a stone image come to life. I must plant a kiss on your ruby lips.
Let there be no talk of kisses between us, Windermere Hightower. Stand aside. Let me pass.
You shall not pass until I've had my kiss.
Let me go. Let me go. Do you hear me?
You shall remain here until I have my kiss. Come on, Melody, what's a mere kiss or two amongst friends?
Unhand me, villain, or I shall shout for...
Help!
You yellow dog! Take your hand off this lady's arm.
What is the meaning of this interruption into my affairs?
Anything that concerns this lady concerns me.
Oh, really? Who are you anyhow?
If you ever insult Miss Lady again, you'll find out who I am.
My dealings with Melody are my own affair and none of yours, you meddling young fool!
Don't you call me a fool, you polecat. Take that!
Lucius, what have you done?
I have merely made a snake bite the dust, Miss Lane.
I'll settle my affairs with you later, my young friend.
Whenever you're ready, I'll be waiting, and you won't have to go hunting to find me.
And as for you, my proud beauty, you'll rue this hour. Your fine spirit will be broken, and you will grovel at my feet begging for my forgiveness. I shall see to it that you become a woman with no reputation and shunned by all who know you.
Monster! Your threats no longer frighten me. Take away my good name. Strip me of everything I hold dear, if you can. But there is one priceless heritage which you shall not rob me of, and that is a woman's honor.
You haven't had any trace of that masked bandit yet, now have you, Annie?
Nary a trace. I thought maybe you're Aurelia or that new gal might give me some description of him, but all they know is that he wore a black mask. Neither of them's got an idea what he looks like.
I surely would like to see him get what's coming to him. Do you know he took every penny that our girls had and made Melody lose a job she needed so badly?
I'll get him one of these days, sir, and when I do, he'll wish he'd never been born.
Well, Anna, I do hope that when you do get him, you're not going to go soft and let him go.
There ain't no danger of my doing that. Why, Lem Hawkins was the son of my best friend, and I did everything I could to help convict him.
That's true.
Yep.
Poor Lamb, you know he's dead now, but folks used to say he is the greatest criminal we'd ever known.
Yep, just goes to show you gotta kick the bucket before anybody will say anything nice about you.
That's so right. I saw you talking to Aurelia's friend, that Melody Lane. Tell me, Annie, what do you think of her?
Whoa, she's mighty pretty, ain't she? Yeah, I'd admire like having her around here.
Do not mention that man's name to me. I do not want to hear about him. I am fed up with him.
Why, what's Hiram been up to, Sally?
You take that clean out of your eye, woman. I tell you, that man is sitting around and staring into space like he lost his last friend. He is a changed man, Annie.
Well, that ought to suit you just fine, Sari.
What do you mean by that?
Well, when your husband was himself, you was never satisfied with him, and you was always fighting with him, so I reckon you ought to welcome the change in him.
No, Annie, I really got to tell you, I am worried about Hiram. I don't understand the way he's been behaving lately. It's just I can't make out what he's up to.
Well, I can make that Aurelia out all right. Looks to me like she's in love.
Uh-huh, you noticed that too, huh?
Yep, who's she setting her cap for? You hired handy arm?
Lucius good enough? My heavens, I would not consider that. That man is a nice enough boy, but he doesn't have a cent to his name. I would not let Aurelia throw herself away on him.
Wouldn't, huh?
I should say. My goodness gracious. Anyhow, Aurelia seems to have lost her heart to that old friend of Hiram's, that Windermere Hightower. He is out here on very important business.
He is? What kind of business?
Why, he's out here prospecting. He expects to make a fortune.
Well, if that's the case, he's gonna be mighty disappointed if he pops to your Aurelia.
Why would you say a thing like that?
Well, Sarah, you said he's prospecting for a fortune, didn't you? Now, if he marries your Aurelia, he ain't gonna get no fortune.
Shows what you know. That Windermere Hightower is one of the wealthiest men in the East. He does not have to marry for money.
Well, it strikes me that there's something mighty suspicious about a tenderfoot wanting to settle down out here, especially if he's got so much money.
Annie, there is nothing suspicious about it.
Well, I think there is.
Oh, fiddlesticks! I do not understand how you could ever say anything against Windermere Hightower.
I'm telling you that there's something fishy about this Windermere, and I don't mean just on Fridays either.
Why, this is Mr. Hightower now. How are you?
Greetings, dear lady. I needn't ask after the state of your health. Why, I do believe that you get more radiant with the passing of each new day.
Why, Mr. Hightower, you say the nicest things. I think, however, you are a natural born flatterer.
Why, lady, dear lady, every time I look at you, why, I can hardly believe my own eyes. I mean, I can hardly believe my eyes. Why, you always look so youthful.
You do remember Battle Axe Annie, our sheriff, now don't you?
Oh, yes, how could I ever forget her? Egad, I mustn't let this old hag of a sheriff know that I dislike her so. Why, it could ruin everything here.
Howdy, Mr. Highfeller.
Hightower, the name is Windermere Hightower.
Oh, my stars. I could never remember such a highfalutin name as that. I'll just call you Wendy.
Egad, how I hate this old hag of a sheriff. Battle Axe is right. It's the perfect name for her.
Hey, tell me, Wendy, all tenderfoot men like wear mustaches like yours on their lips?
In polite society circles back east, a mustache is the sign of distinction.
About how long do you have that there mustache?
Why, about 6 months.
Jumping snakes, it sure's large for its age, ain't it?
Mr. Hightower, you mustn't mind anything that Annie says. She doesn't mean anything.
Oh, well, generally I don't care much for hair on a man's lip, but I gotta admit that one's mighty becoming to you.
Really, madame, you overwhelm me.
That ain't a bad idea.
Gadzooks! As soon as I take over this ranch, she'll never darken its doorways again.
Well, I gotta get to town and get me some meat for dinner. Reckon I'll get a yard of pork.
What's a yard of pork?
3 pig's feet. I got 'em.
Oh, Annie, that was not nice. Now, do you not want to see Hiram before you go?
Oh, tain't necessary. Siri, I'll stop by again on my way back from town. So long, Wendy. See you later, Siri.
Windy indeed.
Mr. Hightower, you must not let anything Annie says upset you too much.
You know, dear lady, I'm willing to wager that this so-called sheriff of yours has probably never made one arrest, has she?
Well, not yet she hasn't, but I do know she will any day now.
Well, enough about her. I have something much more important to discuss with you, dear lady.
My goodness, it couldn't be that you want to talk to me about my Aurelia now, could it?
What? This is positively uncanny. Why, it's exactly as though you have the power to read my thoughts. Why, I was just about to mention the fair Aurelia to you.
What a coincidence. Now, what is it that you want to ask me about Aurelia?
Now for the dirty word. It's been many a long day since I have met someone who is at once as beautiful and as lovely as your fair daughter.
Yes, Aurelia is absolutely lovely and very innocent.
Gadzooks, I'll soon have this old busybody eating right out of my hand. Your daughter reminds me of a trusting child. Why, she's so simple.
Do you know that her teacher said that to us a long time ago? Why, she said to us she had never met anybody quite as simple as my Aurelia.
Why, that's just what I was about to talk to you, dear lady.
About Aurelia being simple?
Why, yes. You see, I'm greatly concerned about Aurelia. If she is to maintain her simplicity and her sweetness, she must not be subjected to outside influences. I'm playing my cards so cleverly that this old comic Valentine will never suspect my true motives.
Well, Mr. Hightower, what are you trying to say?
Well, hasn't it occurred to you that this girl whom Aurelia has befriended, this, Miss...
You mean Melody Lane?
Oh, yes, of course. Miss Lane. Your name seemed to escape me for the moment.
Well, what about Melody Lane?
Well, you realize, of course, that I'm only thinking of Aurelia's good. I hope you don't mind if I speak to you in a confidential manner, dear lady.
Oh, Mr. Hightower, aren't you one of Hiram's oldest friends? You go right ahead and say anything you want.
Gadzooks, it's just as I expected. She's eating right out of the palm of my hand. Why, dear lady, when I was first introduced to Melody, there seemed to be a certain hardness about her.
Yes, I do know what you mean. When I first met Melody, I felt the same way. She's had a hard life.
No, that's not what I mean.
You see, Mr. Hightower, Melody was raised in an orphanage, and she didn't know who her mother was or her father, and she had to go out and work when she was so young. She raised herself. That is bound to be hard on a girl.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I shouldn't think you would, you not being a girl.
Gadzooks, is this old dame just trying to string me along, or is she really as dumb as she looks? You see, what I'm trying to tell you is that you must be very careful whom you allow your daughter to associate with.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more.
Now, you take this Melody Lane, for instance. I'm not so sure that she's the proper companion for Aurelia.
Well, what'd you say, thing like that?
Have you noticed how forward this Lane girl? Why, she seems to have her cap set for this hired hand of yours. This good enough fellow.
Oh, no, Mr. Hightower, it is the other way around. Why, Lucius is absolutely crazy about Melody.
Well, how do you know that?
He told me so today. He told me that he would like to take Melody away with him.
He told you that?
He did. If he had his way, he would marry her, but she won't give him a chance to ask her.
Curses! I must find a way to turn this old woman against Melody! Do you think it's proper to have an affair of this sort going on right in front of Aurelia's eyes?
Oh, I'm not worried at all about Aurelia and that kind of thing. I had to explain to her a long time ago about how fellas come and they courting girls. It was when we were reading about Prince Charming and Cinderella. She always was a nosy little girl.
Well, suppose things aren't as you figured them to be. What if you were to find out that the reason Melody Lane won't give Lucius Goodenough a chance to propose to her is because she already has a husband?
What?
You never thought of that, did you? If Melody Lane is single, then why should she shy away from a suitor's advances?
It is obvious, sir, you know nothing about women. Why, Melody is behaving like that just to lead Lucius on. I behaved like that when Hiram was courting me, too, you know.
Well, what if you made a mistake? What if Melody Lane really is married?
Why, she simply could not be.
Well, why couldn't she be? What makes you so certain?
When I was introduced to Melody, I noticed she had no wedding ring on. Now, won't you excuse me, please? I must go and see Redwing.
Are you sure that Melody is a fit companion for Aurelia? After everything I've told you, are you certain you're going to let her continue to stay under your roof?
Why, Mr. Hightower, I could never doubt Melody. Why, I could just as soon doubt you. Excuse me.
The old witch! What did she mean by that parting shot, I wonder? Could it be that she's beginning to suspect my real reasons for being here? Oh well, no matter. My plans are well laid and they cannot miss. In a short time, I will have control of this ranch, and Melody Lane will grovel in the dust at my feet. There, Hiram. Why, you look tired.
Don't matter how I look. Where's Ma?
I believe she's in the kitchen. I'd like to have a word with you, old man, if you don't mind.
I haven't got time for you now, Hightower. I gotta see Ma about something important.
Never care how you speak to me, you old coot. For 2 cents, I'd turn you over to the law right now, and everybody around here will know that you are a criminal.
Now, don't you start talking about my past. You say you... Lucius, you looking for me, son?
Nope, I just about finished for the day, Mr. Abernathy.
Well, I gotta go see Ma about something important. I'll see you, fellas.
Gadzooks, if my plans are to succeed, I must go to work on this young lout and win him over to my side. Why, good enough. I was hoping to have a chance to talk with you. Please, sit down.
I'll stand if it's all the same to you.
Well, suit yourself. Suit yourself. Gee, I was hoping a little misunderstanding that we had the other day hasn't prejudiced you against me.
What difference does it make to you whether it has or not?
Why, it makes a great deal of difference to me. I realized that I was wrong, and I owe you an apology, which I offer to you here and now.
Never mind about me. Miss Lane is the one you ought to be apologizing.
Oh, you're right again, of course. And I've already offered my sincere and abject apologies to the lady.
You have? What did she say?
Why, she forgave me. The angels that she is. Why, good enough. It takes a good woman like Melody Lane to make us men realize our shortcomings.
Yeah, she sure is wonderful, ain't she?
Oh, yes. Melody Lane is one woman amongst women.
Oh, she's all that, all right.
Egad, this is even easier than I thought. This young jackass is about to fall into the trap that I've set for him.
I don't mind telling you that the minute I met Melody, why, I fell in love at first sight.
Oh, yes. Melody's great beauty is enough to turn any man's head.
Oh, she sure is a pip, ain't she? Ha, ha, ha.
Oh, more than that. Therefore, it ought to be easy for you to understand what happened the other day. Why, I took one look at Melody and I lost my head.
Well, I guess I can't blame you for that.
Unfortunately, I tried to force my advantages on the lady. How was I to know that you were already in the picture? How was I to know that you had already won the fair lady's heart?
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm merely trying to say that the best man has won, and I offer you and Melody all the best in the world.
But Melody ain't in love with me. At least she ain't never told me that she is.
It's hardly a lady's place to tell a man about her love before he has stated his intentions.
But Melody won't give me a chance to state anything. That's the whole trouble.
Well, she's just trying to see if your affections for her are sincere.
Hey, wait a minute. How do you know so much about how Melody feels about me?
Why, she told me so when I asked her to marry me.
You proposed marriage to Melody?
Well, of course, since I find myself in love with the lady, it was the natural thing to do, wasn't it?
Oh, what was her answer to your proposal?
Oh, she turned me down. Worse luck, she impressed upon me that she could never marry me because her heart belongs to another. You are the one whom she cares for, good enough.
Did Melody say that? Did she say she's in love with me?
Oh, yes, in just those words. I can never marry any man because my heart belongs to Lucius Goodenough, she said.
Well, what do you think of that?
Why, I think it's mighty wonderful, old man. Therefore...
Gee, thanks, Hightower. I'm glad to find out I was all wrong about you.
Well, I think
You're a real friend, you know.
the best man has won, and I ask only one thing. That you and Melody invite me to your wedding.
Oh, not so fast. It's going to be a long time before me and Melody can get hitched.
Why? There's nothing standing in your way, is there?
Oh, nothing but the matter of money. See, at present, I find myself almost completely without funds.
Well, what about your job here on the ranch? Isn't your salary enough to support you and your bride?
Oh, not hardly. On the money I make here, I can just about get by. It certainly won't be enough for two to live on.
Well, chin up, old fellow. There must be some way for you to increase your earnings.
Oh, there is. If only I had some money to invest.
Egad, this young lout is about to swallow the bait that I prepared for him. About how much money would you need, good enough?
Well, there's a small farm down the road a piece that I could rent. It ain't bringing in anything now, so I could get it at a bargain.
And is there a house on this farm that you and Melody could live in?
Oh, sure there is. It ain't very elegant, but I could fix it up and make it mighty comfortable. Then I can make lots of money and buy the place.
And what would you raise on this farm, good enough?
Well, chickens. Oh, there's lots of money to be made raising chickens.
Is there?
Of course. Why, you should know that. Well, but then again, you know, you being a city fella, you probably never had much experience raising chickens, have you?
Oh, no. That's a little out of my line. I've never gone in for raising chickens.
Yeah, but I guess it's about hopeless of me thinking about renting that place since I'm next door to being broke.
Well, about how much money would you need to put this deal through?
Well, it'd take at least $200, and I haven't got any way of getting a hold of that much money.
Well, of course you do. Why, I'd be delighted to let you have $200 for such a worthy cause.
You mean you'd be willing to lend me a big sum like $200?
Why, good enough. What's $200 to a man of my wealth and position? It's a mere bagatelle.
You mean it? You'd really let me have the money?
Of course, I'd let you have it now, but I haven't that much cash on me. But I do know where I can get it, and I assure you that I will have the money for you by the end of the day.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'll sign a paper promising to pay you back so much every month.
Oh, no, that won't be necessary. The word of a good enough is good enough for me. Good enough?
I can't thank you enough. You sure are a real pal.
Oh, I'm mighty glad to do anything I can for you and Melody. Speaking of Melody, reminds me of something.
Oh, what's that?
I don't want you to tell Melody where you got the money.
You mean you don't want me to tell her you're lending me the money?
Under no circumstances. You see, if Melody finds out that I let you have the money, she might think that I'm using it to win her favor. In that case, she might not want you to take it.
I never thought of that.
Now, when you go to live on the farm, I don't mind you telling her then that I let you have the money. But until that time, I want you to promise me that you'll never tell her that I let you have it.
All right, if that's the way you want it, I won't say a thing to anybody about it.
That's fine. I have something to take care of now, and when I return, I'll have the money for you.
Oh, Melody, I gotta talk to you. Sit down, won't you?
Lucius, I haven't much time. I promised Aurelia I'd take care of something for her.
Oh, never mind, Aurelia. I tell you, I gotta talk to you. Please sit down.
Very well. It's useless to try to evade him any longer. I must have done with this once and for all.
Yeah.
Melody, I wish...
Yes, Lucius? What is it you wish?
Oh, I wish this was all over.
What?
I mean, I wish I had said what I have to say. I mean, oh gosh, but you sure are a fine piece of embroidery.
Oh, Lucius, you're such a flatterer. If he but knew how my heart responds to his advances. Why am I not like the other girls? Alas, I was marked for tragedy from the first.
Oh, I ain't flattering you when I say you're beautiful. Everybody who knows you says that you are.
Why, Lucius, what makes you think I'm beautiful?
Well, I can see it. Why, it's your hair. Those eyes. Those lips. That tooth.
Stop, Lucius, I beg of you. You mustn't say such things to me.
Oh, I can't help it. Every time I think of you, I'm reminded of beautiful music. Why, Melody, your very name reminds me of a song.
Lucius, you're so original. Why, nobody but you has ever thought of that.
Well, when I first met you, I could tell you were a city girl. You smell so good.
Oh, when I first met you, I could tell you were from the country. You smell, too.
You're different than any other girl I ever met.
Oh, but wait till you meet those Western girls. I've heard Western girls are beautiful. They're sun-kissed, you know.
Well, here's one son that's never kissed him. Melody, I have to ask you a question.
Here it comes. He's going to propose. If only I were free to say yes.
Say yes.
Yes, Lucius? What is it you wanted to ask?
Melody, I have to buy someone a present, and I want your advice about it. What would you want if you were a woman?
If I were a woman, why, Lucius, what do you think I am?
Well, I mean, this is for an older woman. Why, I think of you as just a young girl.
Oh, young in point of years, but very old when it comes to experience. I really must be going now, Lucius.
Oh, but not before I ask you to marry me so we can raise chickens together.
Oh, no. What you ask is quite impossible. It can never be.
You mean you don't like the idea of raising chickens?
I mean that I can never marry you or any other man.
But I don't want you to marry any other man. Can you deny that you care for me?
Heaven help me, I cannot. But that does not change the fact that I can never be your bride.
Well, why can't you?
You mustn't ask me, Lucius, for I can never tell you. Take my advice and find some young and innocent girl who's worthy of your love. I am not for you.
Well, we'll see about that. I'll never rest until you agree to marry me.
Paleface, come quick. Strange man prowl around barn outside.
Strange man, that could be the masked bandit. You stay right here. I'll be right back.
All of my life I have longed for happiness. And now, when it is within my grasp, I must turn it down. I must refuse Lucius's offer of marriage. All because I listened to the blandishments of that scoundrel Windermere Hightower. What is there for me in this world? Who can I turn to? I am that most pitiful of creatures, a girl who is cursed with an aching heart.
Melody, what is wrong with you?
Oh, it's nothing, Mrs. Abernathy. Nothing
Has
at all.
somebody been harassing you?
No.
Bothering you?
No, it's nothing.
Well, then why don't you sit here and tell me, child, why are you so sad?
If only my own mother could be here beside me now.
Well, Melody, you simply must believe that your mother is watching over you and she is loving you just as if she were right here with you.
Do you really believe that, Mrs. Abernathy?
I certainly do, Melody. It says in the Bible that if you but believe in something, it is true.
How I wish I could be more like you. Your faith is a beautiful thing.
Whenever I have a problem, I turn to God for prayer and guidance.
And is your prayer always answered?
Why, yes, of course it is. Now tell me, Melody, what is worrying you?
Well, for one thing, I just don't know how I'm going to leave here or where I can go without any money.
But why are you thinking about leaving here now?
Well, I can't go on and having you and Mr. Abernathy support me forever.
Oh, Melody, you mustn't think about that. Hiram and I do not have much, but we are more than willing to share what we do have.
But don't you understand? I can't go on being an object of, charity. If there was just some way so that I could earn enough money, just enough to earn my keep.
Why, Melody, you mustn't worry about things like that. You must put your trust in the Lord and know that He will take care of you.
I wonder who that could be.
Why, Sarah Abernathy, I haven't seen you for ever so long. Where have you been keeping yourself? Why, Nellie Blythe, how are you? Well, I could be better and I could be worse. You know how it is. I have my good days and my bad ones. Of course, with things being as they are, I have to keep on the go morning, noon, and night. But I didn't come here to talk about myself. I just detest folks that never talk about anything but themselves, don't you? I hear you have new girls staying with you. That's so, ain't it? What? I say, I hear you have new girls staying with you from the east. Is that so? You come again. Well, thanks. I just got here. I ain't leaving yet. Nellie, I want you to meet Melody Lane. She is paying us a visit. Melody, this is Nellie Blythe.
How do you do, Miss Blythe?
Oh, so you're Melody Lane. I've heard so much about you. It's nice to meet you. She's pretty, ain't she?
Nellie, why don't you sit there and tell me how you know Melody is here?
Oh, well, I heard it down at the store in Four Corners. Is it true that you taught school back east?
That's correct, Miss Blythe.
Well, then it looks to me as though Providence must have sent you here because the school board at Four Corners has been almost out of its mind on account of we can't find a teacher anyplace.
Alice Lamb, she used to teach school here. She up and she got married and she went to Minnesota, didn't she, Nellie?
Oh, why, yes, she certainly did. She ain't used to cold weather either. She'll probably freeze to death up there and serve her right if she does.
Am I to understand that you're looking for someone to teach school at the Four Corners?
Well, I was before I met you. The job's yours if you want it. Would you like to teach school here?
Would I? Oh, Miss Blythe, I'd love it. I just adore little ones so.
Oh, well, our school ain't so little.
No, I mean I adore little children. I love being around them.
You know, Nellie, that school board could do very well by the school. To bring Melody on here as a teacher, she would be just wonderful.
Thank you, Mrs. Abernathy.
Well, I guess the school board wouldn't ask for any better reference for Miss Lane than yours, Sarah. I think we can consider the matter settled.
Well, how soon would you like me to start work, Miss Blythe?
Could you bring Miss Lane to Four Corners tomorrow at 1 o'clock, Sarah?
I would be happy to.
Then we'll settle all the details tomorrow, but I can tell you right now that as far as I'm concerned, the job is yours. We were so afraid we'd have to keep school closed this year because we couldn't find a teacher anyplace. This has worked out just dandy.
I am sure you will find this to be a wonderful arrangement, Nellie.
Yes, now remember, Sarah, I'll make an appointment for Miss Lane to see the school board tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
You want me and Melody to be down there at the school board at 1 o'clock sharp?
No, just come as you are.
Nellie!
I can't stay another minute, Sarah. I have a million people to see and places to go and things to do before I go back to Four Corners. See you tomorrow, Miss Lane. Ta-ta. Ta-ta.
Did Miss Blythe really offer me that position at Four Corners, or am I just dreaming it?
It is not a dream. She really did offer you that position.
Oh, it's so wonderful. I can't wait to get back to work.
Melody, I know everybody on that school board. You'll get that job.
Mrs. Abernathy, how can I ever thank you for everything you've done for me?
Why don't you thank the Lord?
Oh, I do thank him for showing me the way. Rest assured, I won't forget to say my prayer of thankfulness before I retire this evening.
I'm going to tell Aurelia about your good luck. I am sure that she will be very happy about you.
Hi-ho, it's off to work I go. Hi-ho, 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 hi-ho.
Why, Melody, what's the name of that song you're humming? Why, I'm delighted to see that you're so happy once again.
Why, my happiness was short-lived. I'd forgotten your existence for the nonce.
Egad, Melody, I don't understand you. What must I do to make you believe in me again?
Why, I'd just as soon believe that butterflies have hiccups.
Have a care, girl. Those are harsh words, and there's a limit to what I will endure, even from you.
You seem to forget that I'm no longer at your mercy. Why, one word to Lucius Good-Nothing, he'll give you another sound thrashing.
Oh, is that so?
Yes, it is, you contemptible bully. Your kind only dares wage war on a defenseless woman. You'd never dare stand up to a man. You're a coward with a capital C.
Your brave Lucius Goodenough will soon go out of your life as suddenly as he came into it. Take my word for it, Melody, that his days on this ranch are numbered. The young fathead.
You black-hearted rogue! What fresh deviltry are you up to now?
You will know soon enough. Hear me, girl. Do not place too much dependence on that young lout of a Goodenough. I will soon have him out of my way. You are not for the likes of him. You must, you shall be mine.
Never, you cur. Never. I would sooner do away with myself than suffer you to touch me.
Curses! I must crush her proud spirit. Listen to me, Melody.
No! This time it is you who shall listen to me. Soon I shall earn some money, and then I shall seek legal aid in having our marriage set aside. Since we've never lived together as husband and wife, I should have no trouble securing an annulment.
Aha! That's why you're so anxious to get that teaching position at the Four Corners, isn't it?
You fiend!
should know by this time, woman, that there's no way that I will find out everything I can about you. I have ways and means at my disposal to gain any information that I deem vital.
I know how you got that information. Well, Miss Blythe and I were talking about the position at Four Corners. You were deliberately eavesdropping.
And what if I was? All's fair in love and war, my sweet.
Desist, villain. Never mention that word love to me again. You defile a noble word.
Egad, Melody, what must I do to make you believe that my affections for you are sincere? Why, if you will only consent to play things my way, I will clothe you in silks and satins, and I will shower diamonds and precious jewels upon you.
I am not tempted by your fine offers. I have never wanted jewels or clothing. A simple little cottage in the country will do.
Aha! A little house in the country, with roses, and a garden, and a nice counterfeiting machine, too.
It is useless to continue this conversation. We have reached the crossroads, you and I. You must go your way, and I must go mine.
Just a moment, Melody. I have one more thing to say to you.
What is it? Be brief.
You know the fatal effect that I have on women. Why, they fall before me like corn before the sickle.
Cease. Cease. I've heard enough of this.
Hear me out, Melody. Hear me out. Aurelia Abernathy has fallen head over heels in love with me. I have only to spread a little poison about you to her, and she will order you out of this house.
Monster! Why, even a polecat has more virtue in its makeup than you do.
Why, Melody, this name-calling doesn't become you. You're beginning to sound like a meowing and scratching little cat.
Mark these words well, Windermere Hightower. A good cat does more than meow and scratch. It also rids the house of poisonous rodents.
Curses! Melody Lane will pay dearly for those words.
Windermere, well, it certainly is good to see you again. Oh!
What delayed you, Muriel? I expected you here yesterday.
Well, is this the way a husband greets his wife when he hasn't seen her for 4 weeks?
When I wrote you and told you to meet me here, I stressed the need for haste. We must work fast.
But aren't you glad to see me? You're not acting at all romantic.
This is neither the time nor the place for romance. We have other fish to fry.
Oh, all right. What do you want me to do?
This place is heavily mortgaged, and the money is kept here in the cupboard in a tin box.
Are you sure the money is there?
Of course I'm sure. I overheard old man Abernathy and his wife talking about it.
Are you going to break the door of the cupboard open?
You should know by this time, Muriel, that I never stoop to such crude tactics. I have this skeleton key which will open that lock. Hide it, go to the doorway, and let me know if you see anybody approaching.
All right, only hurry up and get it over with.
Gadzooks, this is even easier than I expected.
Nobody's coming this way on.
$400, it's all here. Eureka, the deed to this ranch. This is an even richer haul than I expected.
What now, Windermere?
Hide outside and wait till you get a signal from me. I'll stand in the doorway and wave this handkerchief in your direction.
And what do I do when I get in here?
You pretend that you've never seen me before, and then you tell the people here that you've been held up by the masked bandit. There's a young cowhand here by the name of Lucius Goodenough.
Lucius Goodenough. It surely is a name to remember.
Mind what I'm telling you, Muriel. When you meet this Lucius Goodenough, you recognize him as the masked bandit who held you up. Be firm about it and make the story stick.
Oh, don't worry. I'll put on a good act.
Here's $200. Hide this money on you. I don't want any money on me in case they decide to search me.
I can hardly wait to hear what is behind all this and why you sent for me.
I'll tell you all about it soon enough. Outside now and wait for my signal. And be sure that you don't let anybody see you.
Here's where I play Dr. Jekyll and hide.
And now to speed the downfall of Lucius. Lucia's good enough.
Oh, Melody, where's Melody? Didn't she wait for me? I left her just a few minutes ago.
Why, Lucia's? I thought that maybe you would be interested to find out if I was able to get the money for you.
Oh, I'm interested, all right. Did you get it all right?
Of course, it was even easier than I thought.
You sure are a man of your word, Hightower.
Oh, yes, I always keep my word. And now to fix this young lout so that he'll never get out of the trap that I've set for him.
It looks like it's all here, all right. Now I'll be able to get that farm, and Melody will have to say yes to me.
I shall place his black mask where he'll be certain to see it. Now remember your promise, good enough, not to tell Melody where you got that money.
Huh? Don't give that another thought. I won't say a thing to Melody about it. Speaking of Melody, she must be around here someplace. I want to find her.
If I see Melody, I'll tell her you're looking for her.
Thanks. Tell her I'll be out in the barn.
I have to find Aurelia. See you later, good enough.
Well, I'll close the deal on that chicken farm just as soon as I finish work today. Gosh, this is one lucky day for Lucius Good Enough. A black mask! This must be the masked bandit who's been here and in this house. Maybe Red Wing was right. Maybe she did see someone prowling around outside. I better get out there.
Eureka! The game is in my hands now. Once again, Lady Luck is with Windermere Hightower.
Where is everybody? Where's Ma?
Why, she was just visited by a Miss Abernathy, and then she went upstairs with, Miss Lane.
Now, Melody, don't you worry about a thing. Aurelia would be happy to lend you some of her clothing for your appointment tomorrow. It's not a problem. Hiram, have you been sleeping again?
No, Ma, I ain't been sleeping. I got all I can do to sleep nights these days.
It is no wonder. You drink coffee from the first thing in the morning until the last thing at night, and it's been staying there all day. Don't you know that coffee that has stood that long is slow poison?
Oh, I know, Ma. Doggone, I just don't want more coffee. No young to die.
The least you can do is stop this mooning around and try doing some work for a change.
Oh,
Hello there. Is anybody around?
well, who's that coming down here? What's...
Oh, thank goodness somebody is here. I have walked so far, I'm completely exhausted. Can I come in and sit down?
Well, of course you come here and sit right here. No, here, in this chair. Oh, here.
Why, you appear to have been through a terrible ordeal. What happened to you, miss?
I was held up and robbed by a man with a mask over his face. He left me in a half-unconscious condition on a lonely road. I've been walking for hours.
I just seen a strange gal come in here. Dang, nabbit. Whoa there, Ebenezer. What's going on here?
Why, this young lady has just been held up by the masked bandit.
So, that varmint held you up too, did he, miss?
Yes, he did. Oh, it's dreadful. Can you put me up for the night?
You betcha we
Well, of course we can put you up. You can have poor old Aunt Hattie's room. The bed is very comfortable. It is the one she died in.
I'll probably die too the minute I fall in that bed.
I don't suppose you got a look at that bandit's face, did you, miss?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I did. Oh, while he was counting the money he took from me, his mask slipped off. Of course, he pushed it right back up into place, but not before I had a real good look at him.
Do you suppose he recognized it if you was to see him again?
Oh, I'm sure I would. I could never forget that face.
There you
Never.
go, Sheriff. It should be easy for you to capture the rogue now.
I'll get him. All right. Don't you worry none about that.
And if my suspicions are correct, you won't have to look very far for him.
Well, Mr. Hutto, what do you mean?
Why, Mrs. Abernathy, is there any reason why anybody on this ranch should show undue interest in your cupboard over there?
In my cupboard?
Why, the cupboard, that's where Sari and I keeps our valuables. Ma, the door's open.
Hiram, check the box.
Ma, it's empty. We've been robbed, Ma.
Hiram, what's got on the cupboard?
I don't know.
Well, who was it you see showing such interest in in that cupboard, Wendy.
Well, if you don't mind, Sheriff, I'd just as soon not tell you.
But I do mind. I'm the sheriff here, and I got a right to know. If you don't tell me, you're helping the criminal.
Well, since you put it that way, Sheriff, I suppose I have to tell you. Why, the man I saw loitering around that cabinet just a few minutes ago was Lucius Goodenough!
That's a lie! You're just trying to incriminate Lucius because you dislike him.
You stay out of this, Miss Lane, and I'd advise you to keep a civil tongue in your head when you address your betters.
Oh, Mr. Abernathy, I didn't know we had company here.
That's him! That's the man! What are you saying? I recognize that face anyplace. This is the man who held me up. He is a masked bandit.
What do you mean? What is this?
I'll show you what's going on. Get your hands up, young feller. Be quick about it. Oh, how'd you come by all this money, Goodenough?
Well, you see...
Yeah, well, go ahead and tell her. Why don't you, Goodenough?
Aha! A black mask.
There, didn't I tell you? If he's not the man who held me up, why does he have a black mask in his pocket?
Well, what do you got to say for yourself now, young feller?
Well, what are you waiting for? Why don't you arrest him? I'm positive that he's a bandit. Deny it, Lucius, deny it!
I will, Melody, at the proper time and place.
Egad, when I take over this ranch, I'm going to rid it of this grunting damsel. Tell your mistress I would a word with her. Eureka! All my plans are working out. With Lucius Goodenough in durance file, Melody Lane is completely in my power. Yes, Windermere Hightower, you have only to put the finishing touches on your schemes, and your villainy will pay you tremendous dividends. Gadzooks! Why doesn't somebody appear?
Redwing said you wanted to see me, Mr. Hightower.
Egad, I'll never know how you managed to understand that woman, dear lady.
Well, I've gotten used to her, sir. I reckon you'd get used to hanging if it didn't kill you first.
Egad, don't mention that word hanging to me.
I beg your pardon.
Oh, never mind. Tell me, has the mortgage money that Lucius Goodenough stolen from you been returned yet?
No, the sheriff is not sure that the money found on Lucius really belongs to us.
Well, of course it belongs to you, and you must demand the return of that money immediately and hand it over to me, the entire $200.
Well, I do not understand.
Well, you asked me to find an investment for Hiram, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Well, I found a way to double the money, and that way you'll be able to pay off the interest on your mortgage.
Well, Mr. Hightower, how can we ever thank you enough?
Oh, tut-tut, dear lady, I don't want your thanks. All I want is your last cent. I must make sure that they are penniless before I proceed with my turkey work.
You see, Mr. Hightower, it is the interest on the mortgage on the ranch that must be paid today if we can expect to keep it. Do you think that you can double our money in such a short time?
I'll do my very best.
It is so unfortunate that we cannot find a way to give you more time.
Gadzooks, why does she mention giving me time? Is it just a mere coincidence, or is she beginning to suspect something? And what about the deed?
The deed.
Why, you know what a deed is, don't you?
Why, indeed I do. It is the good thing that we must do every day.
No, I mean the deed to this ranch.
Oh, that deed.
Without the deed to this ranch, the mortgage money won't do you much good.
I will have to ask Hiram about that.
Any news from Badlands Sandy, Ma?
No, Hiram, we have not heard a word.
God, Ma, I'm worried sick. What are we going to do?
I don't know, Hiram. What are we going to do?
I don't know. But all I...
Gerald, all the worrying in the world won't do you much good. Not with Lucius putting up in jail and the deed to this ranch in my pocket.
Hiram, Mr. Hot Dog has a plan. He's going to help us raise money.
Ma, that's all he's been doing since the day he was born.
Hiram, he's going to help us pay the mortgage on the ranch. It is a shame that we cannot find a way to give him some more time.
I'd like to give that black-hearted skunk life.
Hark! I hear footsteps approaching on horseback.
Hey, here's Badlands Sandy now.
Miss Vineyard, yeah, did you see him? No, found that horse. Whoa there, Ebenezer.
Now, Anna, have we seen who?
That low-down, sneaking, conniving Lucius Goodenough. He's escaped from my hoosgow.
What? How'd he make good his escape, Annie?
Search me. All I know is his cell's empty and he's gone.
Curses! This does pose a pretty problem for me.
Ain't you seen him, Sari? I thought this would be the first place he'd come to.
I am sorry, Annie, but we have not seen him since you took him away.
Can you beat him? The one time I managed to take a prisoner and he takes a run-out powder on me. I reckon it just ain't in the cards for me to get a prisoner and hold on to him.
Forget about cards, Sheriff. This isn't poker.
Who says it is?
Surely a person of your genius should be able to bring the criminal into custody. Why, it should be easy to recapture the rogue considering that he isn't armed.
Who says he ain't? The young sneak took my gun when I wasn't looking, and before he made good his escape.
That's a good one on you, Annie.
I don't see nothing funny about it. Where's Red Wing anyway?
Well, she's out in the kitchen. Why?
Well, I gotta warn her to be on the lookout for Goodenough case he shows up around here.
Well, you got to be real careful how you help him.
I think I'll go get some castor oil.
Curses! Could it be that I underestimated that country lad of a Goodenough? His escape will frustrate all my plans if I am not careful. I must prepare a strategic retreat in case things get too hot for me here.
Windermere, I've been hoping to have a word with you alone.
I've no time to waste on you now, Muriel.
Why do you treat me so coldly? Haven't I done everything just like you asked me to?
You must prepare to leave here immediately.
But I don't want to leave here now. Please don't send me away from you again. All I want to do is run my fingers through your mustache.
Oh, no, you can't do that. Why, you'll disturb the field mice.
Field mice in your mustache? Why don't you get rid of them?
Why, I can't do that. They're paid up till the end of the month. Now listen to me, Muriel. As your husband, I command you to do as I tell you to. I want you to go to Hades.
What?
Stop interrupting me. I want you to go to Hadesville and register at the hotel there and wait for me.
But what will I use for money?
Egad, you still have the $200 that I gave you, haven't you?
Oh, yes, I forgot all about that.
Oh, how like a woman. Now listen to me, Muriel. I want you to have a nice room in Hadesville, and if you see anything you like, buy it for yourself.
Oh, Windermere, you're always so generous.
And remember, I don't want you to spend more than $1.50 of that $200 I gave you. Do I make myself clear?
Of course. How soon do I leave?
I'll let you know when you have to go, but until that time, not a word of this to anybody.
Are you sure you're not getting rid of me so that you can carry on a flirtation with one of the other females here?
Why, Muriel, you should know better than that. Why, You're the only woman that I have ever cared for.
Oh, Windermere, when you say such sweet things to me, oh, I would do anything for you.
Oh, Muriel, or Melody, Melody, you saw? You heard?
I heard enough to know that you're up to your usual game of breaking a woman's heart, you deceitful philanderer.
Well, can I help? Can I help it if silly females are constantly throwing themselves at my feet? Can I help it if this strange female is trying to win my love?
If she knew you for the double-crossing knave that you are, she wouldn't look at you a second time, you contemptible braggart.
Why, Melody, I do believe your jealousy has been aroused. Why, you're still in love with me in spite of everything you say to the contrary.
You cur! The very sight of you fills me with loathing. I pray the day will soon arrive when I can forget that the likes of you ever existed.
You forget that you have no one here to protect you now. With Lucius Goodenough in jail, you are in my power.
Lucius is innocent, and the day will come when he will prove that he's the victim of your villainy.
Gadzooks! She doesn't know that the young lout has escaped from jail. There's still time to bring her to her knees. Listen to me, Melody. I'm certain that I can convince you that I had nothing to do with the trouble young Goodenough finds himself in.
Like all scoundrels of your ilk, you're very deft with the velvet phrase, but I will never again be taken in by your blandishments. Why, you could talk to me from now until the end of time, and I would still see you for what you are, a cur of the yellowest order.
Those words sound your fate, girl. Already there has been gossip about your romance with Lucius Goodenough. All I have to do is go to the school board at the Four Corners, and I'll bring about your complete ruin.
You wouldn't dare.
Oh, yeah? And who's to stop me? Why, you've been posing here as a single girl. I have only to tell the school board that you are married to me, and I'll spread a little poison about you at the same time.
And I shall refute your false statements with the truth.
And truth has a hard time catching up with slander, and slander is much more fun to believe.
You fiend! Is it thus you wage war on a defenseless woman?
Egad, Melody, I offered you my love and you spurned my affections. Now, unless you do as I command, I will disgrace you here and you will have to leave immediately.
What shall I do? How can I continue to fight this villain? Alas, I am trapped in the spider's web.
Yeah.
Yes, and if I were to consent to bow to your will, what is it that you would have me do?
I want you to help me rid this place of old man Abernathy and his family. I have the deed to this ranch in my pocket. Once I take over here, you shall share the ranch with me.
Why, you expect me to betray these dear people who took me in and gave me safe haven? Why, you ask me to turn upon the only people who've ever given me any love and affection?
I'm not asking you, I'm telling you.
And my answer is no. Do with me what you will. Feed me. Starve me. Torture me. Yes, even if you kill me in cold blood, my answer will still be no.
Then be prepared to suffer as you have never suffered before. Up until now, I have only kindled a bonfire for you, but now I shall engulf you in an entire forest fire. Melody Lane, your doom is sealed.
Oh, why am I to be tortured thus? What evil spirit has its eye fixed on me? Am I to be hounded this way until the very end? Isn't it enough that I must go through life carrying with me the curse of an aching heart? Merciful heaven, have mercy on me.
Melody!
But Lucius, how...
I managed to escape from that terrible jail. I just had to get to you, Melody. I had to find if you believe me guilty.
Oh, Lucius, I never believed it for a second. Why, you went to jail because that that villainous Windermere Hightower was determined to get you out of the way. And that's as clear as distilled water.
Yes, and I'm here to pay that snake back for what he did to me. I've been hiding out in the barn. I'm going to stay out there until I get a chance to show that Windermere Hightower up in his true colors.
Lucius, you must be careful. You must be careful. You're not dealing with any ordinary person. Why, he'll stop at nothing to gain control of this ranch.
Oh, what about Ma and Pa Abernathy? Do they think I took their money?
Oh, well, they haven't said, but I'm sure that they know that you're innocent. I'm afraid that they, too, are going to suffer a great deal at the hands of Windermere Hightower.
So, that Kerr plans to harm them too, does he? How did you find this out, Melody?
If only I dared tell him the truth. But I must not. I dare not. Lucius, you mustn't ask me. You mustn't give me an answer, for I cannot give you one. I must remain that saddest of creatures, a woman who is speechless.
Why, you're the first speechless woman I ever met. No wonder I'm so crazy to marry you.
Lucius, you must be careful. Someone is apt to come in here at any minute now and try to take you back to jail.
Yes, you're right. I better get back up to the barn and wait for a chance to turn the tables on that double-crossing Windermere Hightower.
Windermere, where are you?
Here I am, Muriel.
What have you there?
Oh,
Windermere, is that a present for me?
hardly. This box contains a time bomb which is due to explode in a few minutes.
A time bomb? Oh, Windermere, I'm afraid.
I have discovered that Lucius Goodenough is hiding outside in the barn. Hence, this time bomb. I'm going outside now to place this bomb very near the barn.
I think I better leave here now before an explosion takes place.
A good idea. I'll meet you tonight in Hadesville without fail.
Are you going out, Miss Sack?
Why, oh yes, I'm a headache. I thought a little fresh air might help to chase it away.
Have you seen Mr. Hightower around?
Mr. Hightower? Why, no, I haven't. You haven't got a case on him, have you?
Yes, I think he's just wonderful.
Well, let me tell you, you're wasting your time. You don't have a chance with Windermere Hightower.
How do you know I haven't?
Well, somebody told me he's very much interested in another girl and that he intends to marry her.
Well, I don't believe it. And if I choose to care for Mr. Hightower, it's my affair and nobody else's.
Yes, of course, you're right. Tell your mother I've gone for a walk.
Aurelia! Why, how beautiful you look today.
Oh, Windermere, you're the nicest man I've ever met. You say the sweetest things. Come sit down, won't you?
Tell me, Aurelia, what have you been doing lately?
Well, for one thing, I've been looking over the paper, and I've discovered it's the leap year.
It is?
What does leap year suggest to you, Windermere?
Frogs.
Oh, you're just saying that to tease me.
Egad, here's another silly female who wants to marry me. Should I accept her offer? Yeah! Why not? What's another wife to me, more or less? I'll tell you a little secret, Aurelia, if you'll meet me tonight down by the old mill stream.
Oh, I'd love to meet you down by the old mill stream. It'll be such fun.
Now remember, not a word of our little rendezvous to anybody.
Of course not. I won't say a word.
Well, let's go see what's going on. Oh, say there, Wendy. You haven't seen anything of that Lucius Goodenough around here, have you?
Oh, no, I haven't, but I'm sure that he's bound to turn up sooner or later.
What makes you so sure about that?
Well, why don't you ask Miss Lane? I'm certain that she can tell you why Goodenough is bound to make an appearance here.
Get your hands up, Hightower.
What is the meaning of this?
Reach for the ceiling or I'll shoot you down right where you are.
Sheriff, I insist that you arrest this criminal at once.
Before you do anything, Sheriff, I suggest you search Mr. Hightower. And don't forget to check inside his coat pocket.
I protest. This is an outrage.
Quiet, York! I'll drill you full of holes. Get busy, Sheriff, and do as Melody says.
Well, I'll do it, but I sure don't see what you hope to gain by this.
Stand still now.
That's hers to own the thing in his pocket.
Let me see that, please.
Aha!
Just as I expected. This is the deed to this ranch.
Hiram, it is the deed, it is!
You stole the Abernathy's mortgage money, not Lucius, while your possession of the deed proves it.
It's a lie. I tell you it's a lie.
I knew it wasn't good enough to rob us. It had to be Hightower. Arrest him, Andy. Arrest him now.
What's that? Hey, it's the barn! Come on, everybody!
He's on the barn!
This way, woman, to the barn. We're going to the barn.
Eureka! That explosion came just in the nick of time. Now to make good my escape.
What are you doing down here by yourself, Mother?
I am praying, child. I am praying to him who has never failed us.
But why do you have your hat and shawl on for?
Your pa went to see Squire Hardcastle. I did so want to go with him, but he would not have it.
Why did he go see Squire Hardcastle?
Daughter, it is time you know the truth. Unless the squire agrees to take the $200 your father has to offer him and wait for the other $200, we're going to have to leave this ranch today.
Oh, no! I just couldn't bear it!
I'm so sorry, Aurelia, but you see, it's up to the squire to decide whether or not we can stay or we'll have to go.
We only have $200?
That's right. It's the $200 that was found on Lucius Goodenough, the money that Windermere Hightower pretended to lend that boy.
I don't believe a word of that ridiculous story that Lucius Goodenough has pawned off on you and Father.
Aurelia, there is nothing ridiculous about that story. Lucius Goodenough is a good and honest young man. And if Windermere had not been guilty, why did he run away when he did?
All that talk that's going on around here about Windermere makes me sick. Why would he deliberately cause an explosion that burned our barn to the ground?
Because he's a snake and a polecat and a skunk.
He's nothing of the sort. Windermere Hightower's a very cultivated man.
Would that I was running the cultivator when that man was growing up.
What's the matter with you, Melody? Aren't you ever going to stop sobbing?
Oh, I'm afraid I've cried so much that I haven't any teardrops left.
You poor child, you come here, sit down. You're going to make yourself sick.
It's not me that I'm worried about, Mrs. Abernathy. It's you. If there was just some way that you could keep this ranch.
I'm not worried about keeping the ranch. I know I can get all the money we need.
Where are you going to get money like that, daughter?
From Windermere, of course. He's sure to come back and claim me for his bride. He was going to propose to me last night.
And you would take up with that scoundrel, Aurelia? After the sad plight he has put upon your poor parents?
Windermere Hightower is not a scoundrel. You're just saying that because you're in love with him yourself and you're jealous.
You must not pay any attention to her. She is so upset and she does not know what she's talking about.
Oh, but if she contemplates marriage with Windermere Hightower, she's courting disaster. Why, he'll just take her and ruin her young life and toss her aside like a soiled glove, just to pass the time.
Melody, I do not think we have to worry about ever seeing Windermere Hightower again.
Oh, but we do. He'll stop at nothing till he gains control of this ranch.
No, Melody, I don't think so.
I must go see if I can talk to Aurelia and convince her of the danger she faces. Poor Aurelia.
Yeah!
If I only dared open up and tell her all.
Do it!
The pain within me is so great, I feel as if I am cursed with a dozen aching hearts.
Hiram, did you have any luck?
Ah, Ma, the old squire wouldn't listen to reason. He said we gotta turn this place over to him right away.
Oh, Hiram, whatever's gonna become of us?
I don't know, Ma. All I did is ask for a little more time, and you know how he is. He's closer than the next second. He don't give nothing.
But Hiram, what are we gonna do?
I don't know, Ma. All I can say is I'm sorry, and I apologize to you. I brought all this on you, and I ought to be horsewhipped.
No, Hiram, you mustn't blame yourself too much.
Well, if I could get my hands on that Windermere Hightower, I'd strangle the life out of him, Ma!
Well, Hiram, it will not do for you to talk like that. What you've got to be thinking about is getting out and getting us a job and supporting us.
Job? Work? I'm too old to go to work.
Oh, rubbish, Hiram. How else are we gonna be able to survive?
Well, my grandpa, he made a lot of money, and he never went to work.
How'd he do that, Hiram?
Well, he married Grandma, and she went to work.
Are you telling me that your grandfather sat home and let your grandmother do all the work? Is that where you learned your behavior today?
Yeah, you might say that he lived off the sweat of his Frau. Damn, I like that one, Hiram.
Hiram, it is a terrible time in our lives to be without money. Come to think of it, would be terrible at any time. I only wish we would hear from our son.
What made you think of him now, Ma?
Hiram, every night I light this lamp and I place it over here in the window, hoping that it will guide him home to us. And I keep praying and I keep praying for his safe return.
Yeah, Ma, I wish you'd see the light and come on home. I really do.
Every night I pray, and with every prayer I know the Lord's going to send him home to us.
I know, Ma, but sometimes people don't get what they pray for all the time.
Hiram, for some folks it isn't right for them to get what they're supposed to be praying for. But for us, I know it's right. I know it's right for our boy to be here. And I'm praying, and I know God's going to answer our prayers.
Oh, Ma, we'll pray together. All right. You haven't forgot your old pa, have you?
Of course I haven't forgotten you, Dad. You haven't changed a day since I left home so long ago.
Well, that's true. I really don't change much, but you take a look at your
Oh,
pa.
come here with me, son, and tell me all about you. Oh, you look so wonderful.
You'll never know how wonderful it is to be home again.
About that home, oh, Aloysius, the squire holds the mortgage on. He's going to
You mean
foreclose.
he did have a mortgage on this ranch, but not anymore. I just left the squire's house. I gave him my check for the entire amount of the mortgage. So this place is yours forever.
Didn't I tell you, Harold, when my boy comes home, everything would be just wonderful?
Hey, son, you must have struck it rich. How'd you come by so much money?
I have more money than I know when to do it. And now, son or two, you can spend the rest of your lives in a style to which you've never been accustomed to.
Oh, bless you, my boy, bless you.
My main reason for coming home at this time was to bring you some good news, Dad.
Well, what kind of good news, son?
I discovered recently that you were sent to jail in your youth for a term of years, and that you escaped from jail without serving your full sentence.
You heard about that, son?
Yes, and I'm happy to be able to tell you that the man who committed the crime died a few weeks ago. Before he passed on, he confessed his guilt and exonerated you completely. All charges against you have been dropped!
Hot damn, son! My God, it's good to have you home, boy. Where you been all these years? Wow. See that, boy?
Wonderful. Oh, Melody, I want you to meet my sweet baby boy, my Aloysius.
Oh, why, I'm delighted to meet you, sir. I've heard your parents speak of you so often, I feel as if I already know you.
This is indeed a great pleasure, Miss.
My name is Lane, Melody Lane.
Say that again?
My name is Melody Lane.
That hair, those eyes, those lips, that tooth. Yes, I know you anywhere. Melody, I am your long-lost father.
What?
Yes, my dear, you are my own daughter. I know you anywhere, for you are the very image of your dear mother.
Why, do you realize what you're saying?
Come and sit here beside me, my dear.
Well, tell me about my mother. Is she living?
No, she's been gone these many years. You see, Melody, when you were born, I was very poor. We didn't even have enough money to buy bread.
What? No bread?
Not a loaf. In order to repair my fortunes, it was necessary to take a long sea trip. We couldn't take you with us, so your mother and I placed you in an orphanage under the name Melody Lane. Lane was your mother's name before she married me.
Yes, go on, and then what happened?
It was while we were at sea that we met with a great tragedy. A violent storm came up suddenly. The ship was no match for such a storm. Your mother and I were on deck when our boilers blew up.
Poor mother! Her boilers blew up!
No, the ship's boilers blew up. Your mother was lost at sea, and when I returned to the orphanage to claim you, you were gone.
And all these years
I looked everywhere for you, but always in vain. But now that I have found you, will never be separated again.
I can hardly believe my good fortune. At last I belong to somebody. I'm no longer an orphan of the storm.
I'm a rich man, my child, and I intend to settle half my fortunes on you in order to compensate you for your years of suffering. Melody,
Papa!
my own precious daughter.
I will never forget this day as long as I live.
I have a surprise outside I want to show you.
What kind of surprise, son?
It's one of those new automobiles.
But Aloysius, aren't you afraid to ride one of those new contraptions?
There's nothing to be afraid of. Take my word for it. The automobile is here to stay.
I gotta go for a ride on one of those automobiles. I wonder what kind of fertilizer you get out of those things.
You be careful, Hiram. Melody, are you coming out with us to see us?
I'll join you later.
Okay, you be sure you hurry up. Hiram, wait.
Where is everybody, Melody?
Oh, they went outside. Your brother arrived home unexpectedly.
Aloysius? Oh, how wonderful!
Why can't I rejoice now that I have a loving father? Why does my heart continue to feel so heavy? Could it be because of Lucius?
Yes.
Where is he? What is detaining him? Could it be that he has fallen into the hands of Windermere Hightower?
Lady, can't you use some stockings, maybe, or some threads and needles?
Oh, you poor man. I'm sorry, but I haven't any money just now.
Oh, that's all right, lady. You can pay me when I come here tomorrow. Take a look, monsieur. Don't cost you nothing.
Oh, no, I don't ever buy anything unless I can pay cash for it. I'm afraid you're just wasting your time.
Hello, Melody. I never waste my time.
Windermere Hightower, how dare you come back here?
Surely you didn't think that I would leave here without coming to see my dear wife once again, did you?
You dog! I insist that you leave here.
I'll leave, but when I do, you're coming with me. You're all alone in this house now, and there's nobody here to save you.
You wouldn't say that if Lucius Goodenough were here.
You'll not see that young lout of a Goodenough again. I bound him to a railroad track, and by this time he's probably completely dismembered.
What? What have you done with Lucius?
And he'll pay a pretty penny for you when he finds out I have you in my clutches.
Unhand me, you coward!
I'm taking you away with me now.
Let me go, villain! Why, the very feel of your hand on my wrist fills me with chills!
Ha-ha! There's gold in them there chills!
Why doesn't somebody come to save me?
It's useless for you to struggle, Melody. I hold all the winning cards now. You...
Take that!
Why, you little virago! Ask my forgiveness, or you'll never live to raise your hand again!
Let me go! Let me go!
Ask my forgiveness here and now, or you'll never live to see another day dawn!
Oh, Lucius! Lucius, where are you?
Melody! Thank fortune I got here in time!
Curses, I'm finally in!
You polecat! I have a good mind to finish you off here and now.
Oh, no! Don't do that, Lucius. I can't stand the sight of blood.
Why do you try to shield this rat, Melody? It can't be that you care for him, can it?
Care for him? Oh, the very sight of him fills me with loathing. Why, it's because of him that I cannot marry you. Why, it's because of him that I carry around with me the curse of an... and sore knees.
What have you done to Melody? Speak up or I'll drill you full of holes.
Oh no! Don't shoot Goodenough! I'll tell you everything! Melody thinks that I'm married to her, but we're not married. I tricked her into going through a fake marriage ceremony, and the man who performed the ceremony was a friend of mine who posed as a judge. Oh, please don't shoot Goodenough!
Wait a minute, Hightower. Do you mean that we have never been married?
Yeah.
If you know what's good for you, you'll be telling the truth for the first time in your misguided life.
Oh, I'm telling you the truth, I promise it. Melody Lane has never been married to me. Oh, let me go, Goodenough. Let me out of here. I'll never cross your path. I'll never cross your path or Melody's again. Oh, don't shoot me.
You yellow dog! Killing is too good for the likes of you.
Yeah!
That's right. Turn him over to the authorities and let them decide what to do with him.
Yes, that's just what I'm going to do.
Hey, now, boy, Lucius, I see you got that black-hearted skunk.
Yes, Mr. Abernathy, and you get the pleasant job of handing him over to the law.
You stand up here, Hightower. Take your medicine.
Curses, the outlook is black indeed. Oh, well, I'm not the first man who has gone to his doom because he fell for a pretty face. At least I won't have to worry about food and lodging for a long time to come.
You got that right now. March. Get going. Boy, at last I got rid of my headache. Get going here, Hightower.
I better go along with you, Dad, just in case you need some help.
Yeah, son, come along here. String them up.
Hellface, you all right? Would somebody tell me what's going on here, please?
Oh, yes, I stumbled across Hightower quite by accident and began trailing him. And it didn't take me long to get the proof that he's the masked bandit that's been robbing people around here.
I knew it was him all along.
Yes. Unfortunately, he sneaked up behind me and overpowered me. He bound me to a railroad track and left me there to be completely dismembered. But fortunately, Redwing came running up just in the nick of time and cut my bonds. Why, another 2 minutes, I'd have been a goner.
Me recognize paleface named Hightower when him first show up here. Him not know me. Once I have beautiful young sister. Hightower make love to my sister. She go away with him. He lied to her and ruined her life. She killed herself. Redwing vowed to have revenge. That is why she has been trailing Hightower. Him bad like Coyote.
I thought you said she didn't talk much.
I never said she didn't talk much. I said she didn't talk often.
Redwing discover opening behind clock that lead to old cave when she first come to work here. Use cave and secret entrance to help Paleface good enough trap bad man Hightower. Redwing want to kill Hightower.
Oh, can't somebody shut her up?
You were wonderful, Redwing. Why, when I get the reward money for capturing Hightower, I'm going to give half of it to you.
Redwing want no money. Redwing only do her duty. Redwing happy to know that Paleface man's law deal with crooked Hightower. Him never able to break trusting girl's heart again. Him finished for good this time. Him never bother anybody again. Redwing happy now.
Battle Axe, where have you been?
Well, oh, there, Ebenezer!
Well, where have you been?
I've been out looking for the masked bandit. That's where I've been. Don't you worry none either. I'm going to get him. They're offering $10,000 reward for him.
Sorry to disappoint you, Sheriff, but you see, that money comes to me, for I captured the masked bandit.
You did? Would you mind telling me how you did that, young feller?
Well, not at all. I merely kept looking for him.
Oh, you see, I always told you that was the way to do it, didn't I? Nobody can put anything over on Battle Axe Alley. I'll see you later.
Goodbye, Emily, goodbye.
At last, happiness has found me and marked me for its own. I am no longer cursed with an aching heart.
Melody, when will you marry me? Tomorrow?
Oh, no, Lucius, not tomorrow. I couldn't get ready that soon.
Well, how long will it take you to get ready? Just name the day.
I'll let you know the day just as soon as I can decide.
Well, don't forget to tell me which day it's gonna be, because that's one wedding I don't want to miss.
Out for you. Huh?
How'd it come out?
What do you mean?
The play. What'd you think?
I think it was fantastic. Oh, hi there. Hi, Mom. I think the play went great. I think the audience had a wonderful time. Do I look at you or do I look at the ladies?
That's fine.
Okay, what's fine? All these black pieces are taken.
Now, Trav, how'd it come out for you?
It was great.
What'd you like best?
Candid camera. Huh?
Yep.
Time was led by all.
Excuse me, this is a union job. You want to not bother to help us? Smiles. There's a man
Anything you've taken down. Anything we've taken down proud of.
We will
Okay.
hold these people captive until such time as your imperialistic country. Okay.
Hey, Dick, tell me what you thought of the play.
I haven't seen one later.
Dan, any comments on the production? Any comments on the production?
No.
No? Glad it's over?
No comment. Glad it's over. Yes, definitely. West City.
I started to. When I couldn't get up the driveway, I said to heck with it and came back. Yeah.
I'll do the papering, huh? Or whatever you got. Cart needs fingernail.
Okay.
Get out of the way, Travis. Travis!
What?
Back up.
Bring away wall. There's a nail. Yeah. Alrighty. If we don't have skillet. That's bad, you know. I need a Phillips head screwdriver. You hanging out of that too, back.
We're out. Better get a pole out of the way.
Oh, keep it straight.
Just drop the pole. Oh, I see what you mean. All right, bring it down.
Hey, let it go, Sam.
Bring it down. Hey, they keep coming. Okay.
Should we just let go of the rope and see how fast it goes down? Yeah, that'll be all right.
This is a contest. Yeah, it's a contest. You and Mickey are racing each other. All right, just bring it on down.
Keep it down. Keep it down.
That's it. Come on.
Go ahead, Sam. Let it go. Just got something.
Watch it, let it go over there.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Okay. Watch it. Now, David, they're all going to go. Okay, there we go. Okay, is it going in the right direction? Just get it down to where they can reach the 2 minutes.
Just till it gets, it'll go all the way.
You're not
Keep
dropping.
it going.
Okay. All right, let's hold it here.
Why?
You see if you can get those out. We got to get folded up.
We'll get them out.
Yeah, you
Get
gotta
it down.
get
Get it down.
All right, drop it down. I don't think you will. We're going to lift it up and get folded.
No.
Okay, it's down. All the way. It is.
All right.
Get folded up.
Now we need the ladder.
Now you need to lift it.
Yeah, that's what the ladder's for. Why don't we lift it with the pulley?
That's what we're going to have to. That's why I say we should.
You're not gonna be able to lift
We're
it
going
with that.
to worry about it.
Dave's got it there.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Before any lifted it, I'll pull these out.
All right, let's hold it up.
You can't pull that out. Just be ready to rush it with this when we get it out.
Watch it here.
Yeah, there you go.
Go with the rope. Go over to your Take a, wait a minute, we're binding it here.
Matt?
Let's go.
Lord!
All right, bring it down.
When it comes down, put that board right up. Keep it coming.
I knew it was. Bring it on down. Okay, thank you, Lang. Sandy, we're not going to take by the hour.
Sam's gonna go right up the end.
I
know. Give me a little more rope to hang yourself.
Sam, you might go the rope. You don't have to walk this way.
You're the type of guy who works at the sweat using the chainsaw.
Look, you guys are gonna make a great project like that.
Get the wood underneath it. All here. Let's back up, just walking over. Walking over towards the carpet. There you go. One down.
One there, on the ground.
Two down. Okay.